In the lecture series of textual analysis of the drama Macbeth, and in our last lecture we started the textual analysis of Acts 2nd and Scene 1st. So in our last lecture, as we have discussed, that King Duncan has reached in the castle of Macbeth and it is night time, and Banquo and Duncan's son Flint are talking to each other. Meanwhile, Macbeth came there, and then Macbeth and Banquo had a conversation, and during that conversation Banquo said to Macbeth that one of the prophecy of those witches has come true about Macbeth. On this point, Macbeth asked Banquo to consult about those prophecies in private whenever he got the time to consult that. Then Banquo replies that he is not ready to sacrifice his present honors or rewards for the sake of his future. So in this way, Banquo didn't reply clearly to Macbeth's proposal. So till that point we have discussed in our previous lecture, and now we'll start from there. Now I am sharing the text from where we will start. So as you can see at the top, Macbeth, good repose the while. Then Macbeth says that in the meantime you may have good rest. When Banquo says that he is not ready to lose his present honors for the sake of new honors, then Macbeth says that in the meantime you may have good rest. Banquo, thanks sir, the like to you. Then Banquo says, thank you sir, I wish you the same. Exeunt Banquo and Flint. Then these two men, Banquo and Flint, left that place. Macbeth, go bid thy mistress when my drink is ready. Now Macbeth instructs a servant, and he says that go and tell your mistress. Mistress here referred to Lady Macbeth, his wife. Go bid thy mistress when my drink is ready. And he says to the servant that go and tell your mistress that she should call me when my drink is ready. She strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. You may go to bed after that. And then exit servant. Now the passage which we will discuss now is very important one, and it is also called as Dagger scene. It is an important scene in regard of this drama. So now Macbeth is talking to himself, and he says, it means he is thinking, is this a dagger which I see before me? Now he assumes a dagger before his eyes, and he says that in this dagger which I see before me, the handle towards my hand, and its handle stretches towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. Well, come, let me catch hold of you. This is all the imagination of Macbeth. It is just an illusion of him. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. And he says that but I cannot touch you, though you are still before my eyes. Art thou not, fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? And he says that, are you not dreadful to sight? Are you not perceptible to touch as you are perceptible to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation? Or are you only a creation of the mind, a false creation starting from the brain, proceeding from the heat oppressed brain, a false creation starting from the brain which is overexcited? I see thee, yet in form as palpable as this which now I draw. I see it in so concrete a form as the dagger which I now hold in my hand. As this which now I draw, thou marshalst me the way that I was going. You are leading me to the very way I was going. So here Macbeth is walking towards the chamber of King Duncan to murder him, and during that walking he sees an elusive dagger in front of his eyes. So he says that, thou marshalst me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses. So he says that you are leading me to the very way I was going, and I was to use such a dagger. Either my eyes have been deceived by other senses, or else worth all the rest, or my other senses have become insensitive. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dungeon gout of blood, and I still see you. Means he is referring to that dagger, that I can still see you. Now I see drops of blood on your blade, which was at first stainless, which was not so before. Now Macbeth has seen stains of blood on that dagger. There is no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. And he says that perhaps there is no dagger, it is only the bloody plan which has taken shape before my eyes in the form of a dagger. Now over the one half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtain slip. And he says that one half of the world is now at rest, means there is darkness in half of the world, and at that time, during this night time, he sees such kind of dagger in front of him. So he says that now over the one half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtain slip. So during this night time, when half of the world is at rest and evil dreams are haunting the sleeping persons in their curtain beds, witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offering and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf whose holds his watch, thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. So he says that when half of the world is at rest and the sleeping person are in dreams. So the witches are placing their deity Hecate. Means Hecate is the deity of witchcraft. So Hecate and are making offering to her, and the pale murderer, cautioned by the howls of his sentinel, the wolf proceeds stealthily like the Roman prince Tarquin Sextus, who went to the bed chamber of Lucretia with guilty and noiseless steps like the ghost to molest her. Thou sure and firm saith earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk for fear, thy very stones prate of my whereabout. Or stable and firm, earth, you should not hear my steps when I go on my way, because I am afraid that the very stones may clatter behind my footsteps and reveal my evil design and reduce the horror of the atmosphere, which is in keeping with my fell purpose. So, thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I tread, he lives, words to the heat of deed, too cold breath gives. So, while I merely indulge in wordy threats which cool the excitement of action and waste time, so here he is referred to Duncan. Whilst I threat, he lives. So here he is referred to King Duncan. So it means that when I am only talking during that time, this is the time when King Duncan is alive. When I am not indulged in action, during that time King Duncan is alive. So that's the time of his last time or of his life. While I tread, he lives, words to the heat of deeds, too cold breath gives. So while I merely indulge in wordy threats which cool the excitement of action and waste time, Duncan continues to be alive. Words to the heat of deeds, too cold breath gives. So mere words may cool down my enthusiasm. And during that time, a bell rings. I go and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell. Then Macbeth says that as he hears the ringing of the bell, then he says that the bell is calling me. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell. So I am going and it will soon be over. Duncan, you should not hear the bell, for it is your death bell. Knell means ringing of death bell. So, for it is your death bell which summons you either to heaven or to hell. So in this way, when Macbeth hears a ringing bell, then he says that it is the invitation for me to proceed in my action. It means now he is going to murder King Duncan in his chamber. So in this way, it is an important scene, and it is also called as Dagger scene. Thank you.